Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Non-Stop Talking with your girl here, Vivian Liu. So earlier this month, I went to San Luis Obispo. My friends are there for the summer, so Melissa and I drove up on Friday and we came back on Sunday, and it ended up being just like a really nice weekend getaway. We saw a lot of things, did a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, and it was a blast. So I wanted to like share those like positive trip vibes with you, and maybe get you interested or excited about going to the places that I saw while I was there. With that being said, let's see. So obviously we were there for 2 nights, 3 days, and I took some Instagram videos and some photos, so I'm just gonna compile it all here and just show you kind of what we did, and yeah, I think that's it. So obviously it will start off with Friday. We first got there, we stopped at Pismo Beach and we got lunch at the famous Splash Cafe. We really wanted to see the sand dunes, which is where we head to next. Sadly, we didn't get those like sand dune Instagram photos that we wanted, but I mean, it was still a nice experience. Check out the photos. We start off at the Dune Center to get some information. There's also a museum part to it that we didn't see, but we did get a map for $3. The Dune Center isn't very necessary, but if you want to go there and make a donation, that's also really nice. So let me show you where they recommended us to go. Alright, you guys, we are at the sand dunes, at one of the locations of the sand dunes. There is a beach right behind us. It's windy as fuck and it's cold. I was not expecting this weather and I am just chewing the fuck out of my hair right now, but we're very excited, and I feel like the pictures are a total lie because the sand dunes actually has a lot of vegetation. So this is what it looks like. We would like to walk in, but look at the sign. So the videos were a lot windier than I thought. You can't really hear what I'm saying, but if you saw from the pictures, there were some ropes that were blocking us from reaching the dunier parts of the sand dunes, and it was really foggy that day, so the duney parts of the sand dunes don't show up in the photos. But now we're gonna walk towards the beach and I'm gonna show you pictures of that. Hey you guys, I've trekked closer to the water. It's cold, it's windy, but I really want to feel if the water's like ocean water is any different, not that I would know. So that is what we are going to do. Oh man, it's cold, and I'm just stepping on the wet sand part. So look at how like murky the water looks. Like it looks like yellow. Oh, it's here, it's here. Oh my god, it's so cold. Oh! I apologize for the overreaction. Okay, I'm way more better than this. We have another wave coming, and oh, it's still cold. Oh, it's a higher wave too. Shit, my hands are wet. Oh, dude, look how yellow the water. Oh wait, I'm not showing it to you. Look at how yellow the water is. Like it's just like this murky yellow. And fuck, my pants are so wet. Look at that brave soul. Look at how cold her face is. So we are at another location right now. We're at the Oceano part of the dunes because Guadalupe, we asked one of the rangers who's working there. They close it off to protect the birds, and if we would have walked a couple miles further down where they like are no longer like within state lines or whatnot, protected lines, then we could have been able to like get inside, but that's just too much walking. So she recommended us come to Oceano part of it, and it's more accessible, but it is like lower. It doesn't look like as dunies. But when we were driving It's less fog here, so it's nice. And yeah, it's just really pretty. The water's really like clear and nice looking. Walking into the water part, and it literally feels like clay. It's so nice. Look at my footprint. We're gonna try out how the water feels. It already feels like pretty cold. So once the waves hit, I'll let you know. Look at how clean my feet are. Look, the water's coming. I don't know if it's like the water here is like less cold or like it was just colder the day when we went to the previous location, but everything just feels so nice. And like, look, the stick hang. So I learned from watching beach volleyball in the Olympics, during the Olympics, that fine sand actually like doesn't stick on to you as much. Like the finer it is, the more like it won't like stick on to you. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, and like the sand is so fine right now. Like even like being in the water and stuff like that, it's like it doesn't stick. Like it's so crazy. So in the end, we didn't get to see the sand dunes that we wanted, but we did go to a really nice beach. Oceano was super duper like pretty. The water was blue, the sand was soft, and like that like day, the weather, or like that part of the day, the weather just got so nice. And then we bought taffy, and next we visit a barn, a farm, barn. And it was really cool. I've never been to anything like that before. They have like a market, they have like a petting feeding zoo part to it, and then they like have like pony rides, tractor rides, and like there was like ice cream and barbecue that weren't operating at that time anymore, or weren't operating anymore, I'm not sure, but they just like offer so many different things, and I'm like, that's so clever and cool, and I got a kick out of the animals, and I hope you will too. It's so cute, the noise it makes. I wonder what that ball of fur is. I don't know animals. Oh, I will not be feeding them. I'm not brave like them kids. Anything with a mouth can bite. So I'm just staying here. They're actually quite loud. That one right there. Go again. That one sounds like it's choking. Yeah, you're loud. Oh, that one just sounds like it's blowing raspberries. I'm getting too much of a kick out of this. Oh, they're so loud. It's so funny. Oh. The cow's mooing isn't that bad. Oh, look, he's just staring directly at me. Oh, this one wants to stare at me too. Hi. Look, it's Sebastian. That one. Just fed, and now they're eating. But look, this one has the Confucius-like beard. I wish he would look up, but yeah, they all just got their food, and now they're... these two aren't eating. So I was imitating the goats, and then Peter told me I needed to put this on camera. So like I was just saying, like, they're really loud. They sound like they're just going like meh, meh. And then there's some like that have like way more phlegm, and they're just like Obispo Mission, if you can recognize it. They have an event here, so I can't like like currently get a photo that I want, so we'll see what we can do. But I mean, this is nice too. So I'm at the San Luis Obispo bubblegum wall. It's actually quite gross to be surrounded by two bubblegum walls as you're walking. I don't know, it's just kind of disgusting, honestly speaking. We are at Mora Bay Beach, which is where Mora Rock is, and it's just a big rock in the middle. Well, I mean, it's not really like the middle of the ocean, but like, yeah, in the beach. The sun is setting and it looks nice. There's birds flying and they're creeping me out. So we are up for day 2 of Slo. It's Saturday, July 14. You want to say 14? Who really knows? I'll check later. But yeah, today's gonna be a really exciting day as well. Yesterday I was like looking up at my Instagram story, and seriously, like, I actually comb my hair and it just gets increasingly crazy. So today I opted out of combing my hair, which is actually really normal for me. But yeah, we're waiting for boiled eggs and then we're gonna head out. Day 1 was a lot of fun, and the momentum does not slow down in day 2. We first stopped by Carmel by the Sea and walk up and down that like shopping district block real quick, and then afterwards we hit up the Mission. It's not a competition, but it is a competition, and if it's between Slo Mission and Carmel Mission is far superior. Like, it's just so much prettier. Swimming next to each other. Isn't that cool? Hi. I didn't even realize it because they were like swimming over there at first with like this mesh of kelp, and I was just like, oh look, floating trash. But it's not. They're two swimming otters. Yeah, good thing Tim told me about this so that I could actually get this one. If you want to see some elephant seals, according to Peter, they're ugly. Yeah, they're like that guttural noise, like burping that they do. It is actually quite disgusting. But like when they're laying together like that, like sleeping, because I think it's like nap time for them right now. Like, it's not like they look really cute. They just have to keep their mouth closed because they got like that ugly like hoof mouth. But yeah, if you want to like smell of sea farm, you know, see some ugly elephant seals, this place is it. Absolutely. I love how they're just so cool and at ease, just lying there throwing sand on themselves. Like, these animals are the definition of chill out. How do you get them to talk? Oh, you hear
go down there. Nah, duel them for their hair. They're just whatever. They're like, whatever. I'm just gonna tag along with the other.
I don't know if I should share this part or not, but I'm just going to. For dinner, we decided to go back to downtown Slo and check out this Peruvian restaurant that we saw on Yelp. When we got there, the hostess was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a 20 to 30 minute wait," even though it was like fairly empty. But maybe other people reserved those tables. We're not sure. And so we put down our number and went across the street because there was a comic book store there. And I was able to find a manga that I was looking for used, which was great. But yeah, so it was like 20 minutes at that time. And we were looking on Yelp and they were accepting reservations for like in 10 minutes. So we thought that was a little bit weird. We went back to the restaurant and was like, "Hey, would you be able to like seat us anytime soon?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can seat you right now." So it was the four of us, and we got seated at a six table, like table. And when we were seated, they didn't like remove the extra plate settings, which I thought was a little bit weird. And once we like sat down and was like looking at the menu, the waiter finally came along, and I wanted to try the alpaca meat because I kind of am somewhat of an adventurous eater. And but it was like an appetizer dish, which was like perfectly fine because I didn't realize it was like fine dining, so the prices were kind of like expensive, so I wanted to stay within the appetizer range, even though it wasn't cheap. But yeah, so when the waiter was came around and I ordered first, he was like, "Oh, it's an appetizer, do you want to order an entree?" And I was like, "Oh no, I just want this." And he was like, "Oh, you sure? Because it's like really small." And I was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine." And so my friend was like, "Yeah, she's not that hungry. She just wants to get an appetizer." And he's like, "Okay, I just wanted to like let you know that it's like small portions. So like, when it comes out, like you have that, that." And so the three of them ordered entrees, and our waiter just kind of like ignored us for like the rest of the night. And it was like really, really weird because I could see like him like being really like friendly and like having conversations and like recommending things to like the tables next to us. So obviously he could give like good customer service, but he just flat out would not come back to our table. And we still had like these extra like plate settings, and I was just like, "Okay, I don't know how fine dining works. Maybe this is it, right?" And when the like I guess like so my like plate actually gets like put down first because it's an appetizer dish, and I realized we don't have utensils. And I was just like kind of flabbergasted at that moment in time because I was like, "Wait, this is fine dining, they put down food but there's no utensils to eat it with. Are we like eating with our hands? Is this a thing?" So I flagged down like a busboy and was able to get utensils, and I asked them like, "Oh, if they can clear off the extra plate settings," which they did, but they left like all the wine glasses. So when the entrees came around and it was actually like our waiter, we asked them like, "Oh, can you like remove these wine glasses because we're not going to be drinking any alcohol?" And he did, and once again he just like doesn't come back. And at that point, especially with how we saw he was like interacting with the other tables, we realized like we were just straight up being ignored. And it wasn't a great feeling. And I don't really know like what it was. Was it like a mixture of the fact that, obviously we spent most of the day at Big Sur, so we were in like casual like athleisure wear? Was it because we looked young and there's alcohol there and we weren't gonna order it? Looked like we weren't gonna order it, so he wasn't getting like his tips or money from that? Or like was it because we were like Asian and like obviously there's like this like image of like a Chinese tourist that isn't so great right now? I don't know, maybe it's a mixture of all those things. But my friend was getting like really upset because he used to be a server, and like all of us can just like kind of feel his anger. And I don't deal well with like people being unhappy or people being mad. So my initial thought was, we're gonna eat really fast and we're just gonna get out of here like as quick as we can, like just leave and everything will be okay. So I'm like eating as fast as I can, and obviously it was actually a really small like appetizer dish. So I'm like done and they're done, and we're like trying to flag down our waiter to get the check, and once again like he just won't come to us. So I had to find like another waitress, and she was clearing the table out for us. And then our waiter shows up and was like, "Oh, I could take the plates." And this female waitress was like, "Well, I already have the plates." And he's like, "Well, I can take them from you." And she's like, "Well, that just complicates things." And I'm just like, really? Really? Like, you don't like show up to our table ever? And now you're gonna like fight over who's gonna take away the plates? Does that even matter? Like, why are you doing this in front of us? It doesn't even look professional. So we actually got the check from the female waitress, and obviously we like split the check, and she didn't know who ordered what, so the split check was like not split like properly. And honestly, it was just such like a damper to like a really just fun day, like overall great trip, like just this one like tiny negative thing. And I try to like not remember that, or try to not include that in there. But at the same time, it's so crazy because like growing up, I'm used to like terrible customer service, going to like dim sum places and like Hong Kong style cafes. But like at least they like remove extra plate settings. At least when you like sit down, there's utensils, and like throughout the meal there's enough of them walking around that you can like flag them down and like potentially get service. Like at this place, we were just straight up ignored. We didn't exist. We were put in a corner table and like just left off. Yeah, eat with your hands. I don't know, it was just a really awkward and weird and frustrating experience. But it's over now. Let's go back to the positives. This is actually my second time visiting Hearst Castle. I visited years ago. The tour is a little bit different, but it's still such a beautiful site. And it was all my friends' first time, and we just really enjoyed ourselves. I don't know what pictures I can post, so I'm just gonna post some goofy ones of myself, and yeah, go Google the gorgeousness. Not a big like cinnamon rolls kind of person, but my friend was like, "You have to try this place." So we did, and I know the picture doesn't look good, but this was delicious. Oh my god, I've been editing this on and off for 3 days now, and I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know why it was so hard to like move everything, put things together, and like get things from my phone. It was a lot of steps, a lot of hours, but here we are with the complete product. I had to filter through a lot of like other videos and photos, so there's like a lot more, and I was thinking like maybe I should do like an extras at the end, but you know what, no, we're not about that life, okay? We're not about that life right now, or ever, or who knows. So this was my weekend getaway to San Luis Obispo. Obviously, it wasn't just San Luis Obispo, but that's what we're gonna call it, the Slo Trip. And I had a lot of fun. And honestly, like I highly recommend most of the places that we went to. Just look at how beautiful the pictures are. Honestly, like I don't know how to take photos. That's all natural. Okay, outro. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in my next video, whenever that is. Bye.
light, it's fluffy. You know, the warmth of the pancake, it's the contrast with the cold cream just goes really well. And the strawberry and the matcha, classic combination.